Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. It's G here. I love when you guys leave me comments and they inspire new topics to talk about. And so my last video last week where I talked about bitter aunties, one of us we were having an exchange about Black feminism. And I want to talk about that a little bit from like how I interpret some things or what I see. So guys, subscribe to my channel and let's have a little chat.
I don't know much about money. I just use it for spending.
Where did you get the money?
From fellas, where else?
When we talk about the feminist movement, we all know that it did not include Black women, right? Generally speaking, the feminist movement is about white women trying to get the same rights as white men. And it left out Black women, women of color, indigenous women altogether. And when we talk about Black feminism, everyone is always like, oh, Black women, their independence, like they've misinterpreted feminism. The thing of it is, Black women have a whole different feminist movement for themselves. Because if we talk about Black women and Black men, Black women have always basically had the same struggles, rights, whatever, as Black men. Black men couldn't own property. They couldn't do anything historically in the United States. And that was the same case for Black women. You know, white women fighting to get an account in a bank. Black people couldn't get accounts in banks, period, like male or female. And, you know, historically we learned to keep our money in the family, in cushions. You know, Big Mama had places where she ain't going to no banks, don't trust no banks, right? So like all of the things, all of those types of things, which yes, we benefited from. However, it wasn't our initial struggle. And Black women have always been considered strong, right? Physically, mentally, emotionally. We've always expected to carry the burdens of everyone around us. So we've never had like these things where it's like, oh, we're so weak and we're so meek and we need some man to help us. We've never had that. In fact, you know, historically speaking, again, in the United States, generally speaking, Black women were the ones who were working probably the most, creating, inventing, doing these things. They were allowed in people's homes, whereas most of their male counterparts were not. So we always worked. We've always done all of the things. Like, Black men couldn't necessarily own Black women either. And partially because they couldn't own anything. And they knew that in any point in time, a white man might come and take it away from him, even his woman. So what does Black feminism really have to fight for? For me, I start to see Black women taking control of their own narrative, you know, because now all of these traits that Black women have always been upheld for are now considered masculine and strong, and you're too independent, right? We've always been. And just in different ways, right? We didn't have the power that we have now to have autonomy. So the things that most Black women have been upheld for as like some of their best qualities, strength, resilience, independence, are now things that people will say, oh, you're too masculine. Now, white women can be all of those things. If a white woman is strong, she's like, wow, you know what I mean? If she takes on these quote unquote masculine traits, they might call her the B word, but they're not gonna say that she's not feminine, that she can't be like still defined as feminine, whatever a woman is for most men. In fact, we also know that lots of white women will cosplay things that are stereotypically associated with Black women and then be like rewarded for it. She can do whatever she wants to do. Right? Our identity and all of the things that are taken from us on a regular basis are things that we have to fight for all the time. I see Black feminism as Black women fighting for their individuality, the right to define themselves for themselves without the tropes and expectations and all of the things that people expect because of the skin and the sex that they were born. It's saying like, I don't have to be strong. I don't have to be your ride or die. It's finally being able to say, I don't have to do all this shit for everybody else and put everyone above me, my wants, my everything. It's defining themselves in this world, in this society, as no longer being the sacrificial goat for every fucking body. And that's what I start to see Black feminism as. It's not about 50-50. It's not about like, you know, it's about protecting our womb. I feel that even a bit of the divestment movement is about Black feminism. Not the part that talks about Black men, like, because that's just, you know, but the part that says, don't accept the bare fucking minimum as your standard of life. Don't let struggle love define you. Don't let the things that everyone says you're supposed to do be all you ever fucking do. It's really about, for me, in my interpretation of how we need to look at things in such a different way, because work and all that shit and the pay, like everyone's fighting for those same things, right? But then there's the thing that is really focused on us. And that's what I see, like, as part of the biggest part of it, because we are still learning to love ourselves and learning how that love can be translated, because we know we're not protected. We know all of these things that so many people would try and take advantage of us. Like, we know those things. So our struggle is so much different. And our feminism in that is so much different. So I don't know, I see it as those things. And maybe because feminism, especially through like the white perspective, to me has become such a hard idea of like, we have to do what men do. We've already done what men do. We've been doing what men do. And that's not our shit anymore. We're gonna keep doing what we do to survive, but that's not our shit. That's not our fight. And, you know, that's why we can say, I don't wanna do 50-50 anymore, because I see the big picture. I get paid less than everybody on the totem pole, and then you want me to come in and do this? You still want me to do all of the other emotional labor, all of the other things that are not valued, and then not value me? No. And that's why I see those things when people are talking about all of these things. Like, we haven't, I guess, necessarily put it under that umbrella, but that's, to me, a huge part of Black feminism. So guys, subscribe to my channel. I look forward to talking to you guys in the comment. I hope the woman who saw it before like has an opinion and thoughts, because I'd love to exchange again. So subscribe, and ciao ciao for now.